Jimmy, a homeless person who's lived on the steps of St.Pauls here for 12 years. He has found a community here with the people here. This community that's been destroyed tonight. They could have actually done something. They had an opportunity to really play a role in creating a better world, and they missed it.
Okay, well, your campaign, though, the centre of it, the focus of it, the ethos, the point to it was, of course, against corporate greed in London. When this dying moments are over, which it clearly appears to be perhaps even as quickly within the next hour or so, London will continue. The city will be back at work at 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. The trading floors will reopen. How much difference do you think you've made?
What I would say is, in the next week, there's news coming out to do with our Occupied Citizenship program, where we're going into schools. We've been contacted by over 50 schools now that would like us to come in and talk to them about what the real issues to do with this protest, which are creating a conversation to do with social and economic injustices, but also to do with critical thinking. So what we're actually bringing into schools maps straight onto citizenship courses, and it really gets children thinking. This is not about indoctrinating or anything like that. It's about getting children and kids thinking. At the same time, our corporations working group, we're going to revisit some of the direct actions that we did in the past. And
Ronan, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to ask you one final question, if I can. You said at the start of this interview that you were emotional because, of course, this has been your home and many of your friends' homes for the last few months. How does it feel, sum it up for us, to see your home moved in this way, and where do you go from here?
I think the City of London will have some answers to pay when actually people look into their lobbying affairs and who is behind this, really. It's a sad moment, but it's not the end.
We're grateful for you joining us, Ronan. Thank you so much for your time. Ronan McNern there from the Occupy London group, live from the St.Pauls site there, joining me on the line. And we can return to our correspondent, Jeremy Cook, who remains very much in the heart of things that are going on that Occupy site. Jeremy, I think you've moved position out to the cordon area that we can see.
Yeah, I wanted to give you a sort of situation report here, show you the geography of the site, really. What you're looking at over here is actually the police cordon, which has been set up to getting into this, which is the main area which they've been working on tonight. As you can see here, these are the dump trucks where a lot of the tents and the property which have been removed during the course of the evening have been brought into these trucks unceremoniously, I hasten to add, simply to be taken away. St.Pauls Cathedral there in the background, it is now in darkness. The lights have been switched off, but the protest that we've been talking about all evening, the sort of standout, the holdout protest, the final dozen or so protesters who remain, well, you can still see that they are still there. They're still there. It's a pretty flimsy wooden structure here, and they are trying to, I'm sure the police and the bailiffs trying to figure out how those people can be safely removed. They've been there for quite a long time now. Something of a standoff, really, but not a emergency, it seems, at the moment to remove them at this point.
It's really interesting, Jeremy, to get that viewpoint that you've just shown us there, because as we pan round that whole site, as the route you've just taken us on, it's quite clear to see that there still are a fair few people on the streets there, maybe not necessarily involved in this standoff, but people that have come to the scene, media, bystanders watching this unfold.
That's absolutely right, yeah, and I'm sure that, you know, in these days of instant messaging, social media, Facebook and Twitter, that's had a lot to do with this. The Occupy campaign has used new modern technology, modern communications methods to their maximum effect, and that's how they've managed to link up successfully with other similar campaigns across the board. But this evening, just to recap what we've seen is just after midnight local time, we saw the police and bailiffs moved in. They moved in with a court order saying that the tents in which these campaigners have been living since October had to be removed. That job continued. It continued at pretty quick pace. And really what we're looking at now, it seems, is just the final, which is these protesters up on those that wooden gantry there, about, it seems, to be removed. But just finally, I would say that the protesters here say, although their tents have been removed, their protest is not over. They say that the Occupy campaign continues and that they will be back here protesting, perhaps even within the next few hours.
Jeremy Cook on the ground there at St.Pauls Cathedral. Jeremy, we will be back with you. So you are watching BBC News as we continue our coverage of this breaking news this hour, where for the last few hours St.Pauls Cathedral has been the site of an eviction by bailiffs, accompanied by police in riot gear, as they have removed protesters that have been in place in tents as part of the London Occupy movement since October of last year. More on that to come. Stay with us.
Hello once again. Quite a bit of cloud around at the moment across many parts of the British Isles, and that is going to be one of the trends that we'll see over the next few days. Sunshine, a real premium product, I'm afraid, but with the amount of clouds that we're going to see both by day and by night, it will stay pretty mild for the time of year.